Good afternoon, everyone. We will call this meeting of the Finance Committee to order. And we have no public comments, so we will move into our purchasing agenda. Good afternoon, Ms. Cribbs.
Good afternoon. Bringing forth the purchasing agenda, and if I remember to, all right, if I can get my computer to advance here. Oh, there we go. All right, so our first item is annual event with the My School at Kent. We do pay tuition for our students that go there, so this amount is for the 23-24 school year. Typically, they bill out by the number of days and the number of students, so we don't know an exact amount until the end of the year. So that's why it's coming forth at this point. Item number 2 under instructional supplies is looking to continue the agreements that we did in early mid-spring with Maxim Healthcare and Sunbelt Staffing. Because of the number of vacancies that we continue to have for our child care workers and paraprofessional services, looking to supplement using Maxim and Sunbelt to fill some of those vacancies. Under support materials, we are looking to modify the blanket for the 23-24 school year on the boiler and HVAC equipment maintenance with Mall City Mechanical. Had some additional invoices come through for repairs that needed to be done. And item number 2 is actually looking forward to the 24-25 year and adding Freedom Mechanical Pros as another HVAC equipment and maintenance repairs and emergency services vendor for that. With item number 3, that's for our translation and interpretation services. Again, that one's looking back to 23-24. We've had additional invoices come through. So looking to cover those final costs for 23-24. Under support materials under grants, we have equipment with Moss Telecommunications to upgrade the video surveillance cameras for campus in Dickinson. We're going to be using some of the Section 97 grant for that. Under building and sites, we have flooring projects for City Middle High in the choir room, Economicology, Cesar Chavez Elementary, Innovation Central High School STEM labs. So looking to replace carpeting and get ready for school on those. And the last, under the bond projects, continuing the Innovation Central Auditorium renovation. These are kind of the next steps in there for the AV equipment and the theatrical lighting equipment.
All right. Questions?
Questions?
Freedom Mechanical, is that a new blanket order for the next year? Or do we know we have that in repairs, estimated repairs?
It's the new blanket order
Yep.
for them.
Okay.
But they weren't sure which vendor they wanted to go to, so it didn't get on the list when we did the list for blankets.
Got it. And then just for the benefit of community with Maxim Healthcare and Sunbelt Staffing, same agreement where the minute we can fill a vacancy, we're able to amend the contract to ensure we've got our staff in the room. Perfect.
We won't pay it if we don't use the service.
Yep.
So
Great.
we
Okay.
are fortunate enough to hire enough people, then,
That's right. That's the goal.
yep.
I guess I do have one question. You probably won't be able to answer it though, but look at the under support materials, the first blanket order for Mall City. I get that it's the increase. Then I see this blanket order for next year, number 2 there. They're both the same sort of piece. So I guess my question is, historically, obviously, the blanket order amount is typically sort of established based on historical spending. So I guess my question is trying to determine, will we not be using Mall City next year? Is Mall City, from an HVAC perspective, service perspective, being replaced by us by Freedom? And if so, I'm curious about in 23-24, the original blanket order was $150, but this for next year
I
is
think
just
there was another vendor that we're going to not continue to use, but they didn't decide, and I don't remember which vendor that was, so I don't think it's replacing Mill City. I think it's replacing a different HVAC vendor that we used to add Freedom Mechanical.
Got it.
And I think this is a new vendor to us, so I think that's probably where they're starting out, maybe a little bit smaller, and looking to see which vendor would be available when the needs arise. And my guess is too, they have different vendors, different specialties maybe,
Yeah,
or
probably.
sides of the city,
Definitely.
or,
Some do boilers, some do AC and furnace, right? There are different specialties, definitely.
I think it's trying to diversify the number of vendors that we're using.
Fair enough. Thank you.
I'm just looking at the blanket. Looks like we have a couple in there, yeah. So Enertemp for HVAC service, Johnson Controls for HVAC, yeah. Okay. This is from the May
Oh,
meeting. Okay, well, I'll entertain a motion to move this agenda forward to the board.
so moved.
All right, support. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, same sign. Okay, motion carries.
And we have one donation, again, from Sherry Lynn Noe and Friends, and additional apparel and primarily different apparel items that she has collected for this one. So looking to, again, we're benefiting our homeless scholars program, so.
Wonderful. Motion to approve.
So moved.
All right, support. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, motion carries.
And the last item we had on there was a bond construction update, but we had talked about moving those to the ad hoc facilities committee meeting so,
Yep,
and Mr. Smart's not here, so.
perfect. Okay, so we will look forward to that update at the August Ad hoc Facilities Committee meeting. And no finance report as it's the first month of the year, which is customary fiscal year.
Right, the financial
Yeah.
statements. So we don't do a June of financial statements because we're gearing up to work through the audit. The first financial statements for 24-25 we'll bring to the September
Okay.
meeting, and we'll bring July and August combined. Because
Perfect.
July doesn't typically have much activity. Most of it is actually still pointing back to 23-24, so. One other item that we're working on to bring forward, and you and I haven't connected, but we're looking to do a report out of our last bond project and what that looks like and how we spent our bond money last time. So
Okay, great.
that's what we're trying to pull together for the presentation for August finance.
Okay, so the bond ending with Innovation Central, so the prior, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Seeing head nods.
And we're
great.
going to do a combined, the 2016 bonds through the 2019 bonds. So it's all of them, because some of them, like Ottawa and Union, were kind of split between the two bond projects. So
That's right.
We're like, okay, we'll report out on all of it, so.
Perfect. Okay, sounds good. Welcome, Mr. Smart. We were thinking we would move your report forward to ad hoc facilities, but we can also welcome you to the table if you prefer one over the other.
Whatever, if you want me to present now, I can. It's up to you.
Do you have a preference? I will be in the other meeting, so up to you. You want to hear it? Okay, all right.
Okay.
Well, that's all we have. So with that, we will say thank you and adjourn the meeting. Thanks, everyone.